Stargirl Series 1, Episode 7, titled Shiv Part 1, and this episode feels like a Part 1. I mean, this episode really feels like a Part 1 of a two-part episode story. Because what the main issue with that I have with this episode is a bit sluggish. It is very slow. And I get it, you're trying to set up the groundwork, but you never know. It could be just the whole thing of last week's episode. You get this quick, action-packed action sequence. You can't wait for the next episode, and here's this smooth thing to a point you have to kind of quickly settle your expectations. But what this episode is about is all about Sydney, who in the past episodes has been seen nothing but as the bitch of the store. Like, she's the popular girl who's like, fuck everyone else, I'll get my one, I'm the queen of this store, of the high store, I'll do, But in this episode, we get a little bit more about her backstory. We understand why she is the way she is. And knowing that she's one of the children of the Injustice Society kind of explains it a lot. And you get why she's a bit of a temper tantrum. I want to be a member of the Injustice Society, and I want it now, type people. But this episode has a lot of character development stuff. I mean, you got stuff with Max. There's a great scene between Courtney and Max, where Max is like, Pat's my dad, not yours. Start hanging around with him every little second. Like, he feels neglected. You see me hanging around with Barbara all the time? No. I leave her be because I know she's not my mom. And it's that whole thing. She's a step, not the actual. And you kind of feel like this kind of a collection scene that's absolutely really well done, to the point where post that scene, all his comments on Courtney is very negative too. Well, maybe she shouldn't be coming to these football games. Maybe she, this, maybe this, and that, and you're like, wow. Well, I mean, if he found out about the whole superhero thing, he will get pissed. He will probably be like, ready to say the word "fuck you" to all the fam, to Pat and Courtney. And it's like, well, the cosmic staff chooses him, her. That's all. That's mainly the main reason it all started. It's just because the cosmic staff founded Courtney. You got that, and of course you got the big action sequence at the end, which is pretty well done. It's saying that these action sequences in this show has been kind of remarkable is kind of understatement, but it's just, there's like a 360 shot that spins like 10 times, and that's amazing. All that. I mean, I think with this episode, it's one of those situations where I have to probably see next week's episode to have my opinion on this week's episode, knowing it is a part 1 and next week is a part 2. I think there's a couple other, there's like one more part 1, part 2 in there. So far, a bit of a slow build up, but I like the build up. I love the character stuff in there, but at the same time, I have to hold my full opinions on this episode to see what happens next week's episode.